Hey everyone, it's me, the one and only, the Sparkle Girl, aka Can Sparkle, and I'm going to talk about two TV shows, and they are called Grimm Fairy Tale Classics and My Favorite Fairy Tales. I used to watch them on the DVDs when I was a kid, and let's say I used to have them because my dad told me that my nanny Sal used to collect Daily Mirror newspapers at the time when she was alive. That's one of my favorite memories of my nanny Sal. She's the reason why I had a sort of interest with these shows growing up. Yeah, I don't have those DVDs anymore, sadly. Well, it's a good thing as well because I have my reasons to, because I used to have nightmares with some of the episodes as a kid. Also, I want to say how much I love the Grimm Fairy Tale Classics and the other one, my favorite fairy tale. And let's start with Grimm Fairy Tale Classics. Hansel and Gretel is the very first episode I've watched on Grimm Fairy Tale Classics. And I even remember the time when I first watched Hansel and Gretel, I was totally enjoyed it until some scary parts started to come up and I didn't handle it very well as a kid. But as I watched Hansel and Gretel again when I was like older enough, it didn't really bother me anymore, so that's good for me. The Frog Prince. I liked the episode, but I didn't like the princess behavior though in the episode. The way she treats the frog. But I still enjoy the episode, don't get me wrong. Little Red Riding Hood, like the fact about a little girl named Red going on her adventure to meet her grandma, and then there's a terrible wolf he wants to eat, and which he failed a few times, and then he decided to disguise himself as Little Red's gran, and then he decides to eat Little Red as well. But luckily, Little Red and her gran have both been saved by the huntsman. The Golden Goose. I love the episode as well. Yeah, I just really like the story itself because it's about a young boy who finds an old man and then he later meets the Golden Goose. And then suddenly he went to town and all the people around him, including young girl who wants to touch the goose, and there's a princess who can't even smile. As a kid, I always wondering why she doesn't have a smile on her face. Like, what's wrong with her? But as I got older, I started to understand why she isn't smiling, which is really sad to hear. Puss in Boots. Sometimes I do like it, and sometimes I don't, because there's one scene which I didn't like as a kid, Snow White and Rose Red. It's about two young girls who are sisters and they live together with their mom, and they both end up meet a bear. And then later in the episode, Rose Red meets a young prince who was unconscious, and he said he was looking for his brother. The two brothers reunited, and then both the prince married to Snow White and Rose Red. How old are these girls anyway? Snow White. I want to say how much I love this episode. It's a bit different compared to the Disney one because Snow White has a friend called Klaus, and they both really like each other, like literally like each other. The Water of Life, I loved the episode. Even though I didn't like the prince older brother because he's being a jerk in the episode. But I do like some scenes in the episode though, when the prince meets a princess who was captured by a dragon in her own castle. But in the end, they both got reunited. Oh, I love the episode. Dorinda and Ringle. It's about a two young couple who are about to be married until the witch came along, put a spell on Dorinda, turning her into a bird, and Dringle is the only one who can save his own girlfriend and all the other girls who also been turned into a bird. Briar Rose, I love the fact that she was playing her musical harp and she was dreaming for her prince. I didn't even like the scene where she hit her finger by the needle on the spinning wheel and then under a spell, and then later she was saved by the prince, and then that's it. King Grizzlebeard. I did like the story, but I didn't like the princess behavior in it. Yeah, but luckily in the end, she learned her lesson. The worn out dancing shoes. Does that remind you of a certain Barbie film? I mean, I like the story, like a princess who danced all the time until the shoes worn out. Cinderella, one of my favorite stories of all times growing up, especially the Disney one. It is one of my favorite episodes to watch anyway, growing up. Beauty and the Beast. Oh, love it. I love it as I love Cinderella episode. And Maria, she is one of my favorite characters of the show and the episode itself. Rapunzel, I love the episode as I love Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, it's one of the best episodes I ever watched. Yeah, I even remember watching it on the DVD. The Old Woman in the Woods. I didn't like it very much when I was younger at the time. I mean, as a teenager. But I did enjoy it though, don't get me wrong. But I didn't like the castle scene though. Mother Holy, I remember watching that one. I say it's a bit similar to Cinderella, but a little bit. Because her mom and her sister were being horrible to her. And she somehow lost a little spindle by accidentally dropped it in the well. Yeah. And then she decides to fall inside the well. And then she somehow ended up in the land of grass and flowers. And then she meets a bunny who tells her to meet a woman named Mother Holy to help her find her way home. The Six Swans. I say I like it, but I didn't like the witch though. Who becomes the new queen. Yeah. I mean, I don't really like her very much. She creeps me out when I was young. I don't like the way she treats the royal children by turning all the boys into swans. Poor innocent children being separated for that long until the princess got married to a prince or a king, whichever, depends on the story itself. I mean, you got to feel sorry for her for having to work by herself, live by herself in the woods, and sewing something that will able to turn her brothers back into their human selves again. There's the coat of many colors. I remember watching this. Oh my god! I don't think you guys will like the episode somehow. I mean, you can still enjoy watching it, but there's some scenes that you may find unsettling just to remind you in case you want to watch it. So yeah, and I feel sorry for the girl because her dad was so obsessed wanting to marry his young daughter just because she has a beautiful blonde hair, just like her late mom, who suddenly passed away when she was a young girl. Like, seriously, that's just creepy. Like, who the hell wants to marry a young princess like that? Oh my god, that's just disgusting. Like, what world does he live in? Ugh. I know he's old and all, but that's just an excuse. Brother and sister, I love the episode and the story itself, and I certainly like the relationship between the brother and sister. Brother got turned into a deer, and the sister was like so worried that she will find a way to save her brother from that terrible spell because the evil stepmother he was actually the witch the whole time. Later in the episode, when they both got older, the sister got married to a king, yeah, and then they both had a baby, and somehow she got kidnapped by her stepmother. I mean, that's just terrible. Bearskin, yeah, I'm not sure whether you might like it or not, guys, but for me, I did enjoy the episode, but I didn't like the beginning. So yeah, Rumpelstiltskin. Ugh, I don't like that guy. I never trust him one bit. Like, what's wrong with him for wanting to kidnap the innocent newborn baby? Like, come on. So yes, these are the episodes I watched growing up, and now for my favorite fairy tales. So the ones I watched as a kid, but on the DVD, well, they are Three Little Pigs and Alibaba. Three Little Pigs is the funniest episode that I've ever watched as a kid, and again, all grown up when I watched it on YouTube. And I've always find the wolf silly, and for some reason he came back, but in a different episode about the seven little kids. Alibaba is a bit like Aladdin. It's a bit similar to that, but slightly different. And I also remember watching the other version of the Little Red Riding Hood from this series. And to be honest, I can't even pick which one is my favorite. The one from this series or the Grimm Fairy Tale Classics. And I even remember watching the Snow White. Yeah, that's really good. Really good. And I also remember watching the Little Mermaid episode from this series. And I got to admit, I love the episode so much. I love it as I love the Saban adventures of the Little Mermaid. Some of you might remember that show actually. It's okay, some of you might either did or you didn't, but I just remember watching that on the DVD long way before I watched it again on YouTube, something like that. So yeah, these are the episodes I watched from my favorite fairy tales. And not all of these shows I mentioned in this video I watched as a kid growing up. Let's say I also had a Peter Pan DVD, and I also have the Gulliver's Travels. I'm just not really into it, sorry. And I also remember watching Pinocchio, that's really good, yeah. And you got to say, these episodes are the classic. I really miss these old good times, to be honest. It's just one of the best simple day. I mean, being a kid, watching your DVDs or home videos, something like that. So anyway, I hope you all enjoy my video. And thanks for watching. Bye.